Hey, hey, hey. Today I want to talk about spirituality. Spirituality, this conversation is for the young person in fear, maybe even bored, maybe feeling pressure, maybe confused or need clarity around spirituality, the idea of God or the universe. And I'm not here to teach you anything. I just want to share my truth and hopefully it can inspire you along your journey, particularly in your 20s, where for me, this is where it really was hard for me, very hard. And now I'm in a space to share. I'm in a space to share. So I grew up, and I've shared this before, in the church. And so for me, it was go to church and read your Bible every day. And these two practices, while they fulfill me in many ways, I love the Bible quotes. I love the nourishment that it gives me. I can read and do scriptures and things like that. And going to church was a place of, I believe, big and community. It's reminded me of that recently because I'm gonna just share different stories, but one of my mentors, I reached out to her recently, and she has a huge church community, and they've rallied around me. We don't even talk about it. They don't know that I know, but I know that they're her church, a lot of her church people, because they'll say things like my church, and I'm just grateful for the community. Church does provide a community. It provides people, network. It provides different things, just depending on where you are, what city you're in. It didn't provide that for me. It just didn't, because it was small. Most of them were my peers, and it didn't for me. My childhood, I just recently shared my mom, my childhood church, it definitely provided that. It was a large congregation, growth, people from different backgrounds. And it definitely, if I was there, I feel like it would be different experience, but I'm not. But for me, again, understanding what church provides for you. So for me, it was church and Bible. I was torn between these two practices make me a better person. And when I realized that, okay, doing something doesn't make me a better person, but becoming who I am, I'm going to automatically be a better person, because we are born spiritual beings. We're born to rise. We're born to love. And these principles that are in the Bible and practices that are given to us, they're great if you want to use them, from a place of faith, but not in a place of fear. And I lived in fear behind them, because it was like, if I don't do this, something's bad going to happen to me. I was told very often, like, I'll have my black suit ready for you, because I would be doing things as a teenager in life. It was not anything crazy. I could miss curfew and I'm told these things, so I want to remind you, wherever space you're in, don't believe in the lies of fear. Spirituality is not a fearful journey. It is an open journey. It's a space of freedom to be yourself. And I always say that, and I don't say it with any parameters, any boundaries, because when you are truly on the journey of becoming a better person, and a better person doesn't mean do this or that. It means understanding that you have the opportunity to grow in every area of your life. That's why I'm very intentional about personal development. It is all areas, from holy, I always say, to holy, HOLY, which to me was very, okay, do this, do that, versus I'm a whole person. I'm accessing all of me. I'm assessing all of me. Every area of my life that's given to me, I have to do these things. So I'm going to do them to the best of my ability, and I'm going to grow in them. So spirituality to me is assessing myself, accessing all of who I am, all of my emotions. Sometimes I'm surprised, sometimes I'm disgusted, sometimes I'm joyful, sometimes I'm angry, sometimes we're given all of these things because it's the beauty of being. And so spirituality is a process. It's a system within us that we have access to each and every day. There's no space that puts you in this more spiritual space. There's no person, there's no thing. If you're created, and no matter who you believe your creator is, you're created because you're on this conversation with me. You're here, you're listening. You have a purpose. And I just want you to know it's not to be anything other than who you're created to be, which is a process and a journey and an experience with your own self, and a beautiful community with other people, whether you choose the church, whether you choose organizations, that's fine. But the most important community is within you. You have a sacred sanctuary within you that you can retreat every day to access your experiences, your wisdom, your knowledge, the things that will grow you into a better person. And a better person just simply means, what does that mean to you? What makes me who I am? What do I want to do in this journey called life? And how do I want to show up? So I just want to remind you, you're free to be yourself. There's no chains. The last couple of weeks I've been talking to people and just so excited, and I want to say my name is Janville. I am the founder of I Am. If you're on this channel on YouTube, but I Am it's a platform. It's growing in different spaces, and I'm excited about it. But I've been reaching out to women, and we're having an event coming up in September, and we asked the question, what would you tell your 20-year-old self? And the answers have just been resonating with me, and I'm just reminded that your 20s are a very special decade. Do not waste them. And when I say don't waste them, I don't want to get into that, but don't. Everything is purposeful. Your life, it has meaning. One of the advice I love, she said, have a meaningful relationship with God. Whether you choose God, Allah, Muhammad, I'm not here to judge you. I don't really honestly care what you believe in. This is what I say about beliefs. And this is another story. I met this gentleman. He has amazing man. He's in decade 8. He's in his 80s and he's still building. He's still doing things. Just amazing man. And we visit his restaurants. And I remember one day, I'm a person, if you know me, I'll ask people anything, because I like to learn. I'm curious about like interesting people. And he's very interesting. And I said, what's your belief system? And he looked at me and he said, I believe in myself. That's how I was able to continue to move forward. And that was so powerful for me. And it freed me in some ways, just because sometimes I always felt like I had to lead conversations with God or lead them with Jesus and things, just to say, this is what I believe. And I'm at a place of freedom. I don't have to lead anything but with my own self. I don't have to lead conversations with any belief system. I show up truly myself. And I want you to do that, because no matter, again, what your background is, when you lead with who you truly are, your essence and love, it'll shine the light on any space, any religion, any background that's needed. And I'm a little bit of everything from everywhere. And I want to be able to go and not just be welcome, but I want to be in communion with myself. So I don't know. I just hope that this provided you a little bit of insight. And I'll say this, how do you get here? So for me, I started to connect with nature. I started thinking like, okay, God created me in this whole, look around me. I started looking around at how the trees would grow and how the butterflies would fly around me, how the eagles would soar, and all these things that are created by this same God. Why am I lessening myself? Why am I not feeling free to be completely human, human? I'll say that. I started there. And then I just realized that spiritual is just in spirit. Spirit is how I show up. Kanye says, keep my spirit alive. You can have it all, but the Lord is on my side. And you keep your spirit alive by being yourself when you show up as yourself. And that's why this work is so important to me, because it is a spiritual journey. And I want you to know that there is nothing that you have to do, but there's everything that you can become. And it's an overcoming journey, not attached to anything besides your own patterns, your own background, your own presence. These things help us become who we're supposed to be. So as you continue to walk in spirit, and I'm with you in spirit, I want you to continue to discover your truth, your truth. Continue to keep your spirit alive.